to show you how to provide your customers client portal access. So in Razor, we have a client portal that you can provide to your customers so they can log into the portal, check the status of existing orders that they have with you. They can schedule new orders, they can pull reports, check out consignment inventory. So the portal is very useful when handling customers, and it really eliminates a lot of messages back and forth between your sales reps and the customer. So to get the customer portal access, you're going to want to go into your CRM here, click on accounts, find the account that you're looking for. So in this case, I'm going to say ABC123. I'm going to double click, and then at the bottom here on the navigation on the modal, you see client portal. I'm going to click on that, and you can see that we have a list of all the contacts that are associated to this account. So if I go into contacts here, here's all my contacts, and then if I go into my client portal, you can see that I have all my contacts here in my client portal. So I'm going to create a new contact real quick, and I'm going to just call this contact the tester. Okay, so I just created my new contact, and it's tester. I'm going to go into client portal, find the new contact, and I'm going to give them a login. So first thing I'm going to do is provide a login. If I repeat a login, like here we have username Pat. If I type in Pat here, it's not going to allow me to. It says login is not available. So it has to be a unique login, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say tester3. Okay, so tester3 was available, and then provide a password. I'm just going to repeat that, and okay, so we just created it. Obviously the password is not being displayed here, and that for security reasons we're not going to display you the password. If you ever need to change the password, you can go in here and quickly change the password. Once that's completed, you can send a welcome email. So I'm going to change this to my email address to show you what the welcome email will look like to the user. So I'm going to say tester3, and I'm going to send a welcome email. Okay, so just give it a second, and I just got an email. Welcome to the client portal. Here's your login, here's the password, here's the URL, and as a customer, I receive this. I'll go to that URL and log in. There's a couple things to note about giving your clients access. First thing is make sure this checkbox is enabled, so that enable this account client portal access. So by default, all of your accounts are not going to have this checked off, so your customer is not going to be able to visit the portal until you actually check that off. Your portal URL is just your URL at the top. So we're in sandbox.razor, so this is sandbox.razor/client portal. We're working on allowing our customers to have a unique domain, because some customers don't want the RazorERP attached to their client portal domain. So we're working on a solution there to allow you to choose any domain that you like, and hopefully we'll have that in soon. If you scroll to the bottom of this little widget here, we have report visibility. So in the portal, there are different reports, financial reports that you might want to remain hidden from the customer, because if you're not using Razor as a full accounting system, you're not doing your journal entries, the invoices and the balances are going to be off. So you might want to uncheck these financial columns, so there's no financial information being shown in the portal. From a report standpoint, you can allow your customers to see certain reports. You have the option to not allow them to download reports from the portal if you'd like, but here are all the reports that are available to be downloaded, and if you have them selected here, they'll be able to download each of these reports for the orders once they've been settled. So now I'm going to real quick show you what the portal looks like. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to pretend that I am tester 3. And I'm going to log in. So first thing you notice is that you have your logo. So if this was my company, I would have my own logo up here. You can set that up through the system settings and put your logo up here. We have a dashboard. So the dashboard will show you a chart of all of your pending orders, partially received orders, quotes, etc., etc. You can see the total amount of electronics recycled through this company, how many orders have been scheduled, when the last payment was, and who your account manager is. If you want to schedule an order, you click on the Schedule Order tab, and your customers can actually schedule their orders here. So they can choose a user in the system. They can add a new user. And when they add a new user, that user will now have access to the portal. But this will also be added to the contacts in the account in Razor. So if I add a new user here and fill out this information, it's going to come through on the contact side of this account. So it is connected 100%, which is really nice. You can also do the same thing for locations. So just like contacts and users, you can also add locations in here as well, and the locations will be carried over to the ERP. You can choose existing locations here, and the carrier type. So if you're going to be dropping off, if you're going to be picking up, they can tell you which commodities that you should expect on the pickup, what services that they're interested in, and estimated pallet count, estimated weight. All that information gets brought over as a quote in the portal. And I'm going to go to orders now. Here's a list of all the orders that I have in the system. So if I'm a representative of company ABC123, I can go to my orders tab and I can quickly generate reports. So this is a pending order, so I can't produce a settlement report, but I'm going to go to an order that's been completed. So this order's been completed, inbound order 10408. I'm going to go in here, I can pull a settlement report. So you can see that as a customer, it can really eliminate a lot of communication that needs to happen, because the customer can just come in, pull the report, and say, "Hey, here's the invoice. This is what I need, what I owe the customer." And then inventory, if there's consignment inventory. So if you're working with the recycler and on a consignment contract, and you have inventory received and that needs to be sold, all that inventory would be displayed here. Alright, so thanks for watching. You learned how to give your customers portal access. For more helpful videos, check out our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, please email us at support@razorerp.com. Thanks.